Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Larry, the Batman fan. So, today we're going to be talking about the worst superheroes, in my opinion. I don't have a very big list for the worst superheroes because a lot of the superheroes that I've read I think are pretty good. But this list may surprise you with the superheroes that I don't really like. I did a top 20 best superheroes list, now it's time for the worst. So let's go ahead. This is just going to be a top five, personally. Um, yeah, because I can't really think of that many that I just straight up do not like. So number five for me has got to be She-Hulk. She-Hulk, I am not a fan of. I do not care for She-Hulk at all. I don't think she's as strong as the Hulk. The Hulk is actually pretty good. The Hulk doesn't get weaker; he gets stronger. I've read a little bit of She-Hulk. I didn't read as much of She-Hulk as I did the Incredible Hulk, or the Hulk, as most people just call them. But the Hulk is actually good. She-Hulk is not good. She just she isn't appealing. Nobody really talks about She-Hulk because she doesn't hold a candle to, Bruce Banner Hulk, the male Hulk. Um, she's whack in my opinion. Whack female superhero. And yes, I think most female superheroes do suck, but She-Hulk is just the epitome of bad in my opinion. Really bad. Number four is let's see, who do I want to put on this list for number four that I think's really bad? It's another female superhero, of course. Um, so I gotta think, cause I don't think Rogue or Storm are that bad. Um, I'm not really a fan of them, but they're not as bad as some other ones. Batgirl's pretty good. Black Widow's pretty good. The Magdalena's pretty good. Elektra, I think, is really good, so she's not on this list. I'm gonna probably put Wonder Woman up here because I was never a fan of Wonder Woman. I know some people are probably pissed about that, but I don't really care. This is my list. If you can't respect my opinion, then just get the hell out of here. There's the door. You can leave. I never really understood the appeal of Wonder Woman. I'm not a fan of the comic books. Though the older ones are not questionable from the 60s, 70s, 80s. I know that they're questionable now because she's bisexual or a lesbian. But the older ones aren't. With that aside, I just never understood the whole backstory of her. It's like she was hanging out with the Amazons, and no, not to be confused with the site where you buy food and clothes and random shit off of the internet from, not that Amazon. In the story, she was living with her mom and dad, and there was a whole Amazon thing in the story. She was kind of like a god in a way, Wonder Woman, Diana, and then she just decided to leave it because she was very adventurous. You know, what powers does she really have? Except for maybe some sort of mind powers. She's not strong. I mean, yeah, she can fly, but that's about it. Like, Wonder Woman has nothing going for her. She doesn't have really any amazing powers. She's not a talented fighter. She can't fight, you know. So that's why I put Wonder Woman up here. And I know some people are not going to like that, but like I said, it's my list. Number 3 is probably going to have to be Man Eater Lad. Or no. Well, Man Eater Lad, I guess, is a dishonorable mention. Because that dude was pretty pathetic. I mean, he can't do anything except eat things. Um, yeah, he's a dishonorable mention. Sorry. Number 3 is Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget is fucking lame. Okay? Like, Robocop is more badass than Inspector Gadget. Because at least when Robocop died and came back to life, he was indestructible. Inspector Gadget, on the other hand, can still be destroyed. You know, he can still die. Robocop is damn near indestructible. So Robocop I give a pass, but Inspector Gadget only came back to life because they brought him back to life. They basically made him. Because he was a cop that died and came back to life, and then there he is. Those movies with Matthew Broderick really sucked. I mean, the first one was slightly better than the second one, but that's not saying much, you know. They were still both pretty lame. Second one was definitely worse than the first. But, you know, he just sucks. He's not a good superhero. He can't fight, you know. He's got all these gadgets in his hands, and he's clumsy. You know, I just don't think Inspector Gadget is a very good superhero. You know, he had a propeller in his head, it had fire and flames, water, and all this other crap, but he was so clumsy and didn't even know how to use it half the time. You know, made that cartoon that was on in the 80s that was really boring to watch, not very fun to watch. Made a line of comic books too, if you didn't know that. Yeah, he did make comic books too. And I just wasn't a fan of those either. I thought they sucked. You know, Inspector Gadget sucks. He's an overrated piece of garbage, and he's not a good superhero at all. Number 2, honestly, if it had been when I was younger, I probably would have put him at number 1, but he's slightly better than the other guy. So number 2 for me is Superman. Okay, how is it that you're this great superhero, right? But you got a ego problem. You're non-caring about other people that you save, and you're just a dick. You know what I mean? You're a dick. You know, I never thought Superman was a very likable character. Like, he's just a dick. And if you read the newer Superman comic books, that's what he is. He's a complete dick towards the people he saves. Like, oh, well, there was this guy that's like 3,000 miles away from the sun or something, and he's stranded in this island area, a pedestrian, and Superman goes to save him but gets attacked by another guy, a bad guy, and he eventually does save that guy. And the guy thanks him, and Superman doesn't do anything, you know? He just saves the guy and does nothing. You know, he's not grateful, doesn't say thank you, you know? He's just a total dick, like... And I also don't understand how you could be this great superhero, but a rock with salt kills you. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. You're supposed to be a tough, badass superhero, but kryptonite kills you with a rock. I mean, the Hulk, that'd be like the Hulk gets hit in the head with a giant rock and dies, and he doesn't come back. That would make him the biggest pussy ever. But yet Hulk doesn't die. He gets back up, throws that rock over him, and he gets stronger. Whereas Superman is supposed to be strong, and faster than a speeding bullet, but it's bullshit, you know? He's not faster than the Flash. I doubt it. The Flash is actually okay for a superhero. I think he's okay. Um, I'm not blown away by the Flash, but I'd rather read the Flash than read Superman. You know, and I just don't like Superman. I think he's overrated. I think he's garbage. I think that he sucks. I think that the newer storylines of Superman's character, he's a dick. He's rude. You know, he saves people and people thank him and he doesn't say thank you. Just Clark Kent is garbage, man. He's one of the worst superheroes ever. And you think, who could possibly take the number one spot? Is it Man-Eater Lad? Is it Silver Surfer? Is it the Fantastic Four or Spider-Man or Daredevil? No. Although Man-Eater Lad is pretty whack in my opinion. And the Fantastic Four, I gotta say that the Human Torch is probably the best out of the four of them. You know? It goes to Aquaman. It's gotta go to Aquaman. I mean, I never understood the appeal of Aquaman. I mean, and I could have put Superman at number one, but at number two, I feel like is the right spot for him because at least Superman has strength. You know, what does Aquaman have? He has nothing. I mean, even the Submariner could kick Aquaman's ass. So could Namor, I bet. Namor could whoop Aquaman's ass. Aquaman, out of the three superheroes that are underwater usually, Aquaman's the one that sucks the most balls. I mean, Aquaman is just a travesty. I understand putting him in that Justice League movie, Jason Momoa, and I will give him credit for that he actually did a good job with the Aquaman movies because the Aquaman character himself is garbage, in my opinion. He doesn't appeal to me at all. I mean, he friggin' talks to fish and squids underwater, you know, and he's got like this long pitchfork that he stabs people with and things like that. He's just lame. If it wasn't for that pitchfork, he couldn't do anything. You know, he doesn't have any powers except for being able to talk to underwater sea creatures like squids, octopus, fishes, and maybe even sharks. You know, he's weak, doesn't have a lot of strength, has no charisma. He gets his ass kicked, and in the end, somehow he comes back and wins. I don't know how he wins, but he does win somehow. Excuse me. But yeah, Aquaman is number one, most definitely. Aquaman is the worst superhero of all time. You know, I don't care if people say Aquaman's a good superhero. Oh, Aquaman's a great superhero. He rocks. He's good. No, not to me. Aquaman sucks. Aquaman sucks more than Superman. Sucks more than Man-Eater Lad. Sucks more than Wonder Woman. Sucks more than She-Hulk. Sucks more than Black Canary. It sucks more than Mr. Fantastic Invisible Woman. And yeah, I said that. You're probably saying, what? Don't you like the Fantastic Four? Out of the four of them, I like the Human Torch the most. Honestly, I think the Human Torch is the best character out of the Fantastic Four. I watched the Fantastic Four movies because I like the Human Torch. I think the Thing is okay too. Other than that, I don't really care for Mr. Fantastic or Invisible Woman either. But yeah, Aquaman is definitely the worst superhero ever made. Don't understand it. But you definitely got to give credit to the movies because Jason Momoa's Aquaman movies were actually pretty good. So you got to at least give him credit for that. You know. A lot of those female superheroes are not very good either. Yeah, that's basically what I have to say here. What are your top 5 worst superheroes? Leave them down in the comment section below. I would love to know what you think are the worst superheroes of all time. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Larry the Batman fan. Subscribe, people, subscribe. Be a part of what we got going on here. Thank you for watching. God bless. Take care. Peace.